Today we're going to talk about ADUs and why I think they're one of the best strategies moving forward. So what is an ADU? An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. And that could be anything from, let's say, a garage apartment to an extra structure, a converted structure, or an added structure on your lot. So why I think ADUs are going to be one of the best strategies moving forward, whether you're a homeowner or a real estate investor or a house hacker. There are three main reasons here. So first reason, of course, is extra space. So many people, for so many reasons, need extra space in their homes. And ADUs are a great option. You can get a 300 or 400 square foot ADU that could be an extra office, could be an extra rec room, it could be a workshop. You could put a little studio in the backyard. It could just even be extra bedrooms. I've seen configurations with 2 extra bedrooms in ADUs. You know, maybe you have some adult children, or maybe occasionally you have people stay over that you're okay with coming inside. It doesn't need its own bathroom, but you could really maximize having 2 extra bedrooms. So the biggest thing investors and house hackers are going to find with ADUs is that you can be used to make extra income. So I know of an ADU manufacturer here in Austin where you could buy an ADU for around $60,000 and rent it out for around $1,000. So that's almost the coveted 2% rule, meaning the $1,000 in rent is almost double what it would essentially. So if the house is $60,000, the 1% rule would be $600. 2% rule would be $1,200. Maybe you can even get $1,200 in certain neighborhoods. So looking at what your costs are to put in this ADU, it could be an amazing investment. And that's long-term rent. If you're gonna do short-term rent on an ADU or a medium-term rent on a little ADU studio or 1 bedroom, look at those numbers being a lot higher. And with the recent announcement that the state of Texas declared Austin's STR law unconstitutional, and now non-owner occupants are able to get licenses for short-term rentals, this could be a really awesome way to make a ton of extra money and not have to do a lot of work, because these ADUs come fully finished and essentially turnkey. And people love that. The third thing that ADUs add for homes and investors is they add a lot of equity. So it's finished square footage. Now, I don't know how appraisers are necessarily going to look at a lot of these new modular ADUs, but they'll add some value. They'll at least add the amount of value that you spent on to put them in. So say you spend 60 grand, I would imagine you're going to get a lot more than 60 grand in equity in return. Finished square footage in your area. So let's say finished square footage in your area is going for $400 a square foot, and you put a 400 square foot ADU in. Do the quick math there, $160,000 on that. Let's say they even call it half of that. I mean, that's $80,000. Even if you only get half of the finished square footage of a regular home, it's still going to be absolutely a great thing to do. Few things to think about when you're looking, if you're going to get an ADU, don't just go out and order one of these. So not every house and not every area is eligible for ADUs to be installed. Now here in Austin, those rules, they're working on changing that, where every property, provided you're not in an HOA, could add an ADU. And that's if it meets the size requirements of the lot, the setbacks. It can't be so close to another house or so close to a property line. So again, make sure you know that, talk to the city, make sure you're eligible to do this before you get into it, and make sure you get your permitting right. So can your lot physically handle it? Will the city allow it? Those are absolutely things you need to know. You're gonna need to know where are the water and sewer hookups, or what am I gonna have to pay to get those extended to that area? Or if I'm out in a rural area, do I need to drill a well or put in a septic tank? Everything is possible. Just make sure you figure this out before you go buy an ADU. Speaking of buying an ADU, you're gonna have to figure out financing. So you're either paying cash for that, you're borrowing money from a private lender or a hard money lender, or you're getting construction financing from the bank. There's all sorts of options, and some of the ADU manufacturers that we know here in town have some options for that. But again, make sure you have that figured out. There is a way, you just need to know how to do it. But ADUs are one of the most exciting things that I'm looking at here in the future of Austin, because if we can add more housing units and we can add more square footage to existing housing units through accessory dwelling units, I think everybody's going to benefit there.